welcome to MMA Sip and Smoke, where we talk about MMA as well as enjoy fabulous beers and cigars. I know a lot of people do something similar to this, but not in the same format. I actually provide both my betting picks with beer as well as cigar reviews. Today we have very special beers. I was at the Binny's. Wasn't at my local guy. I was at the Binny's. First of all, let me see if Yo, do I got sound? Do I got sound? Let me know if I got sound. Was surprised. I didn't know that this cigar here, Flor de las Antillas. Did I write that out? Yeah, Flor with the welcome, bow better. Sorry, thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. I didn't know that this Flor de las Antillas cigar was made by My Father Cigars. It's a $10 cigar. It's a pure Nicaraguan cigar, and ironically, it's called Flor de las Antillas because if you know anything about geography, Nicaragua does not land in the Antillas Islands or the Antilles Islands, or other people used to pronounce it. The group of islands basically is the Caribbean. So this is playing sort of homage to their roots, the Garcia family that I believe, or is it the Fernandez family that is my father? That's a good, very, very good question for myself to distinguish if it's the AJ Fernandez family or the Garcia family that runs My Father Cigars, or it could be both. There's not a lot of various creators in the cigar world. A lot of the cigars that we get are coming from the same farms. It's not like there's a ton of farms all over the world. There isn't. So that's why my confusion, I think, is justified. I'm not trying to play coy or be just dumb, but looked at this cigar. I love the traditional old school band. And what can I say about Lake Effect Brewing? I mean, one of my favorite local Chicago beers, and they collab with the Morton Arboretum to make this beer. And look what they have here. Brewed with oak chips from the Morton Arboretum and Wisconsin Special roast malts, amber ale blends, malt complexity with just enough hops for a citrus spice finish. The slightly oaked character delivers a hint of warm vanilla. And I saw the beer maker at Binny's, and he got to see the cigars that I had, and I told him I was going to smoke a cigar. I didn't tell him I made cigar and beer reviews. I don't know why I didn't tell him, but it's funny that I'm in the circle, like that I meet, and I know a lot of the brewers and meet the brewers that I review here. I've gone to for example, Hot Butcher, got to meet the brewer over there, Old Irving, met those guys. It's just funny. It's all right. We're doing reviews. We don't have the views that we might want, or the traction. But if you come to Chicago, go to the Morton Arboretum. It's in the suburbs. It's close, halfway to Naperville, closer to Lisle. It is a fabulous, fabulous place to just relax, enjoy a beer, eat, walk around, similar to the Chicago Botanical Gardens. Just beautiful place. Lake Effect Brewing Company, man, they collab with them. That's awesome that they got that collab. Doing big things, right? So he recommended, out of all the beers that he had there, he had a Golden Blonde. He recommended this amber ale to go with the cigar. Oh my God, that's a good amber ale. I like that it's not a little cinnamon there. I think it's going to complement this cigar very, very well. I like that it's not heavy in alcohol content. I like that it's still very drinkable. It's reddish, but it's genuine more amber. And I do like that. Joey's like, no product reviews, boring. Well, Joey, I find the other guys that just regurgitate everything that you would see on UFC stats, and I did that. I could be a little guilty of that too, even though I liked my format where I mixed in various prop bets as well as the data. When I did my non whatever show, I got a little buzz already. It's been a decent day, I guess I should say, but I think that shit's boring, right? I watched some of these cigar reviews, even the cigar things, and I can't be as personality as that. To get a lot of views and not be boring, I need to be like TV and smoke cigars and be funny and interesting, and I just don't have that, bro. That's just not me. I'm actually just semi straight up tobacconist / beer enthusiast, right? Watch Game, the Seiko SNK, right? I'm thinking of buying another one, but it was actually too small. I mentioned to everybody these have been discontinued and they've gone up in price now. So I bought this like $100. In fact, I got this one for $79. It is now almost double that. It's $148, and they're running out because they discontinued these. So everyone's purchasing these. The strap is getting really, really dirty, which I don't mind. It adds a little character to it. But yeah, this watch, these Seikos for a day date, man. I mean, yes, it'd be nice to have a Rolex, but I see people peeping it. They don't say nothing to me about it, you know, like, but I think these are fabulous watches, especially this one in this like silver dial. Just beautiful. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, excellent watch. You know, they have them on, and I have 3 of them. I have 3 of that series. So, but yeah, so I got to meet the beer maker of Lake Effect. Thank him for his work. I saw one of his reps at the last beer festival that I went to years ago before COVID, and got messed up. We had a good time at that beer festival. Highly recommend any beer festival or wine festival or cigar festival to any enthusiast. You get your money's worth. You're gonna get drunk. You're gonna drink a lot. You're gonna meet all the people. Great vibes, great cigars, great beers, great wines. If you go to anything that is of interest, if you guys go to these conventions, you're gonna meet some really cool people. So there's this My Father cigar. I got to light this sucker up. Look at that beautiful band. What does that band mean? Look at all the hidden meaning. Look at the detail just on this band. And there you see the My Father cigars. I didn't notice that. And the MF right there. I bought this just sight unseen. I looked at the band. And I'm like, it reminded me of the New World. I was like, I want to try that band. I mean, that cigar. I see the beautiful, beautiful band here, a nice wrapper, and I'm like, huh. And the great name, Flor de las Antillas. And I thought it was a Nicaraguan cigar. I mean, would it be closer to like a Dominican cigar, right? Or even a Puerto Rican or something that's in the Antillas. But no, it is I believe you see sun grown, so there was not a lot of shade there, a full Nicaraguan cigar. But My Father, $10 cigar. So we're in that premium range, guys. Cut the cigar here. How's everyone doing? Welcome, bow betters. Let me I don't need to flip it. I need to do this. There's my dog chilling out. Dog. Who's the dog of the week, guys? Who's the dog pick of the week? Okay, reviewing last week. I can't see any. Actually, I'm gonna keep it on this mode here. And if someone comments, maybe I'll be able to see the comment. My dog pick didn't pan out. It was a shitty fight, though. I mean, you guys watched that fight. Caceres actually threw. Oh. Caceres actually threw more strikes than Giga Chikadze. Oh, whoa. Than Giga, but he didn't land as many. Right? He didn't land as many, threw more, didn't land as many, lost the fight, unanimous decision, not one takedown attempt, not one clinch attempt. So just bad, horrible. Costs me, in the end, $60. Because All right, we had two picks last week. One of the picks did hit. One of the parlay hit. Aaron Blanchfield with Sung Hoo Choi did hit, right? So that saved me, but I put more on the money line for Alex Caceres, right? I threw a full unit on that. I threw 20 on the submission prop, and then all right, let me not be straight. 20 on the submission prop, and then 80 on the money line. So that was a loss. Lost that 100, and I threw 50 on the parlay with Choi and Blanchfield, and that still didn't get me to even money. It was like at minus 120. So I ended up just recouping that amount, right? So it's still like a net loss of like $60 or something like that, or $50. A loss is a loss. 50% for my picks. I'm happy with that. That's a win for me. That I had two bets, guys. Two bets, just two bets in that event. That's it. Threw two bets at that event. That might be a first for me. That might, and guys, you know, Joey knows me, Brian knows me, Wayne, other people in you know that do watch or follow me or have been following me for a long time. I appreciate you guys, or even you as a public, understand that like two bets for me is is a lot of restraint. That's a lot of control. That's a lot of non-action, right? So I'm very, very happy in that sense, even though I lost. If you did tail me, depending on what you did on your bets, if you went the opposite and played the parlay, right, $100 on that, then you came out on the positive side. I'm still 50-50. One bet lost, one bet won. 50% winning ratio for last weekend. Not bad, but better than a lot of other people. Better than the guy on Contender Series. Probably better than Yanni. Right? Like, yeah, this Toro is a nice size. Oh man, I had some cedar strips inside the place, so it loses a lot. A loss, a loss. That was my main play. Joey's pick did hit Aaron Blanchfield on the money line, so you have to give credit to Joey. His pick this week so far is a parlay pick that I'll mention here in a little bit. I don't like it, but it gets you to that same 116, 120 that I played last week on my parlay that hit. So, in that sense, you know, maybe a chase at that. But Joey's pick can't be a parlay. That's what I told him. Your pick can't be a parlay. Joey's pick's never been a parlay, never been a prop bet. We just had just a winner on the money line, and that's the way it's going to be. So we'll see if he joins the chat here again in a little bit to provide us with his pick. You know, last week, again, it was Aaron Blanchfield. I also picked Aaron Blanchfield, although I did think it was tough. I didn't play her on the money line. She was already at like minus 150. So I propped her out with Choi, who was like minus 275, and it came to something like minus 120 or something like that. Not the best parlay piece, and Joey's, I think, is very similar, but when you're confident of two winners like that, that's a decent two-piece parlay. I try not to do. I'll do my tricksies, and that's as far as I go. I won't do the Yankee plays anymore. I won't do the 4-pick parlays in a round robin and or a parlay. It's just not feasible for me. I used to play those, not doing those. But that Lake Effect Brewing beer, man, there's something about the stuff that he uses. Very smooth, great amber quality, little cinnamon with a hint of vanilla. More. It's going to complement, I hope, this cigar a little bit, because I already smell like maybe it's like that cinnamon oak, like very similar in their construction and caliber, or at least their. I sense similar notes in just the fragrance of this cigar. I don't know if the big guy over there from Lake Effect, the brewer, smokes cigars too. I don't think so. I showed him the cigar, And right away, I'm gonna smoke these too. And I showed him the darker cigars because I had another Connecticut Shade cigar and another Plasencia that was a little lighter. And I said, I'm gonna smoke either one of these two. I was gonna smoke this one, or what was the other cigar that I purchased? I purchased 4 cigars today. Mm. Mm. Oh my God, the tightly rolled, the cinnamon and cinnamon is fucking fantastic, guys. That guy, he may not know cigars, but he chose, or I chose, he chose, he led me right. Always listen to your beer guy. Always listen to your tobacconist. Don't always listen to me. But I did choose a cigar. But I chose it purely on the band. And then later on, I saw that it was a My Father cigar. So I knew I made a good choice because I love My Father cigars. Mm. Great box pressing, fantastic roll, great rich draw, great construction. I could tell right out the gate. Fantastic gauge, heavy cinnamon flavors with a little bit of like nutmeg. Mm. The wood is there, but the wood is definitely overpowered by the cinnamon and nutmeg in the cigar, and it's not strong. Or to some people, it could be considered a strong cigar. For me, this is not. Mm. Okay, so this would be a strong cigar for people. It has a very strong oak with nutmeg and cinnamon sort of character. That wood complements this perfectly. Maybe it's double double. Maybe it's not a complementary. It's add on, right? So a little strong on both ends. Mm. I see what the beer maker's saying about the vanilla finish on the beer. That's what does the complementary nature for this cigar. The cigar needed that vanilla because or else it would be too much oak. It would be too much wood between the two, right? Even the nutmeg wouldn't save the cigar. That spice note wouldn't save the cigar if there wasn't that vanilla spice note to save it. It would just be overwhelmingly too much burnt, too much wood would happen. So decent pairing. I think it could still be better. I think maybe the other lighter cigar might have been better with this beer. Like pair the lighter cigar that might have that vanilla character in the back, but had more of a lighter character. That was another cigar that I'd never tried before, so I'll grab that cigar in a little bit. No, actually, no, I'm not touching those. Where am I? I reboxed all my cigars today and put in humidification packets, the cedar, replace some of the cedar here and there. Um, I put them in old cigar. I used to have them in some Tupperware. I did the Tupper humidor method. Now I've gone to the older boxes. The newer boxes, I found the construction of the newer cigar boxes, a lot of them aren't cedar. To save money, they're not doing cedar. But the higher end boxes, like from Padron, as well as Punch, Montecristo, Oliva. I like the Oliva boxes; are really good. Some of those are cedar made. So and they have clasps. on them, right? To add to help them, and seem to be a little better constructed, but overwhelmingly nowadays the box is not a lot of good construction going in there, and not a lot of good wood being spared to make the boxes. But I've gone to that method now, or just that. Just, you know, yes, I could get the big humidor. I've had the big humidor. I've thought of doing the Spanish cedar on the big humidor, but the small boxes are fine right now. And I got a count of my cigars, which is awesome. My vintage cigars are not doing well. Very bad. My vintage cigars are doing very poorly. They're peeling. There's damage to them. So they're unsellable, right? But it doesn't matter. I never intended to sell them anyways. Joey, for you, buddy, the big gauge. It's a big, thick one. Just for you, buddy. I like that big, thick one. I love the big, thick cigar. This is called the Toro. This is the Toro size. Really good gauge. You know, I made the little PP cut, the little I cut, D cut there, but I still get a good draw because the construction is fantastic. What is it, buddy? Come on. Yeah, the cigar is going to be 9 Club. I could just tell. I hate throwing out the 9s all the time, guys. But that's just me. You know, what can I say? I just choose really good cigars. You know, yeah, like that's, you know, that's me. You know, I pick, you know, I'm not going to buy crappy fucking beer. I'm not going to buy fucking bad cigars. I think, like I said, across the board for most part of all the cigars and everything we review is good shit, man. Great products all across the board. Lake Effect Brewing, fantastic product, man. Just make good beer. I've liked them for years, like years. I've been on Lake Effect Brewing. Highly drinkable. Mm. Oh, this amber is not. It's. I don't like that. What was the Guinness amber they make? That is very smoky. That's why what also saves this you know, Morton Arboretum amber oak ale from Lake Effect. Why it still complements cigar well is that it's not a smoky oak, right? This has the smoky oak, but not the amber ale. The amber ale has that more of a sweet spice-ish oak to it. It has that wood character, that vanilla nutmegish finish, very similar to the cigar. The cigar doesn't have that vanilla, but it has that. The beer has that little bit of nutmeg slash cinnamon with oak, and the cigar on the first parts have that. You know, it has that, or at least the first part has more of that oak, and then the finish has that nutmeg and cinnamon. So it's working right. Good compliment. Maybe a little overwhelming for some. I think it's adding to both the flavors of both of them. Like it still is a good complementary beer to this and to this smoke, and the smoke is definitely also complementing the beer. It is helping the beer smooth out a little bit, right? So maybe you don't taste the sharpish oak notes as much when you're smoking a cigar like this. So it smooths out the beer even better, makes it a little creamier, right? And that's what I'm sensing with this beer or with the cigar right now, because this has more potency in terms of flavor for me than the beer, and what it's doing is just smoothing out the beer a little bit, and that's a great compliment to the beer. Really good pairing, guys. For even though it's like similar and similar, same and same, the beer vanilla finish is still saving it, and then the cigar is helping smooth out and bring out that vanilla, where you taste that vanilla finish a little sharper because you are smoking the cigar. I don't see anybody in the chat. It's all right, guys. It's okay. You know, this is a one-man show. We already, we know that we are very, not everyone's taste. I've lost some of my loyals people, but that's okay. The other good thing about reboxing my cigars is now I have to get another cigar box, right? Like and more cigars. And I have a lot of cigars now. Not a lot, but for me, it's again like I restarted this passion, and I'm aging these cigars, and I just want to forget about them. And I'm up to about like 75 cigars of various types again. Which I know for most people that are cigar enthusiasts, they're like, that's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but what you could sit on a lot of cigars, and that's great, and I'd like to do that. But what's the purpose of that, right? Like, I'm unfortunately don't entertain a lot of people. I'm not. If I go to something, I have like 5 cigars that I could bring, or 8 cigars, or 10 cigars I could bring. I do have groupings of some other cigars, but I love the diversity of cigars I have. And that was the hard part for me, is like organizing them. It's like, well, they got to marry with each other. They got to stay with other types of cigars. And that's the unfortunate part. But I'm not wealthy. When I have like something, oh man, that's interesting. Very interesting there. When I have like 75 cigars, that's like not just 3 cigars of 25. That's a lot of different cigars, from Macanudos, from Partagas, from Plasencia, from my father to Joya de Monterrey, to Punch, to Aurora, like all around, all across the place, right? Like everywhere. Is that good or bad? That you guys let me know in the comment section if you're a cigar smoker. I got no cigar smokers. I have no cigar. Man, this cigar is so well rolled. $10 again. We're at that near for a $10 cigar. This is very premium. The way it's rolled, the way it's burning, the way it feels in my hand, the notes on it, the sensations I get. Oh, there's something here that I can't describe yet, but I like it. It has that hint of plantain. I like people. That hint of banana. It's got that. I love that. Welcome, Balbetters. It's your boy, Berto, giving you the picks, giving you the winners, helping you out, making you money, providing you with the best comments on the beer, drinking a beer with you, having a cigar, celebrating, living life. That's why my boy TB says I need to do the show. Oh shit! Damn it! I want to fuck up the sword. Guys, one thing about okay, there it is. That's my fault. It's my fault, guys. It's my fault. It's not the can. Again, Lake Effect Brewing is in effect. Lake in effect. We're over here in the Midwest. On the lake, we know about the lake effect, all right? This gauge size allows you to really grab a good draw to really get a great indication or an accurate indication of the notes, of the flavors of the cigar. And for it not being like a darkish Habano sort of wrapper, it has a great richness to it. I love the subtle cinnamon, the subtle nutmeg, that subtle, like, you know, again, that banana-ish finish. Like, it's really, really a nice cigar. I tell you, people, you don't need to get Cubans. You don't need to buy the best of, like, the Patrons, the best of Punch, the best of Monte Cristos, those big Reservas, or Reserva Olivia. You get a lot of big flavors. Ooh, it's coming a little undone, I see. You get a lot of richness and complexity out of some of these $10 cigars. And $10 by no means is a cheap cigar. Like $10 is it's a fucking expensive cigar. Don't be feel that you're, even if you go to a cigar shop and you buy one cigar for fucking $6, don't feel bad. You're still making that, you're adding to that person's profit. That's like the same going to your local store and buying a Coke and feeling embarrassed that you bought one soda. It's not a big deal, guys. It's not like, is that all you're gonna get? If you're a tobacconist or a cigar shop guy says something like that, which they never will, even if they look at you a little weird or whatever, don't feel bad. You know, you could even go in and say, "Hey, I'm not a big cigar guy, but I'm just gonna get one decent cigar. If you could recommend one cigar to me, I'd appreciate it. This is what I'm looking for." You know, that's okay. If they don't treat you well, they're not worth doing business with. Period. I don't care if you're buying a fucking bag of Funyuns or Doritos, right? If you get mistreated at some place, don't go back there. Don't deal business with them. Like, a cigar shop's the same way. If you're buying one stick, you're buying one cigar, you should be treated as well as the guy that's buying 10 or 20 cigars, or even a box cigar. Close to it, relatively, you know. That person might get some other privileges. You might be able to get something that's behind the counter, right? You might get immediate attention, right? Well, I don't know what attention you would get, or you would get service probably before you, even though you were there first.
I did not know that was there. What? I did not know that was there. Yeah.
Coming undone there, but still a great cigar. I don't know if I caused that in some way. That's my scare was, like, handling all the cigars I was today. It was like wood cedar around me, moving boxes around, putting them in different boxes. Like, oh shit, can I scratch one? Can I damage one? So I doubt it. This one was still in the cellar most of the time. So that's an imperfection on their side. Not happy with that. Hopefully we burn through it. Best thing to do is usually leave it alone. I give it a little lick normally, pat it down a little bit. You guys come for the MMA, and you're like, hey, when is he going to talk about the MMA? In time. What are your bets, guys? Tell me in the comment section. Hit me up, participate with me. Give me something to bounce back off of you. Are you guys on the French parlay that DraftKings is offering with Firo, Benoit, and Cyril Gon? Right? Like plus 300, DraftKings is offering a number, plus 310. Is that something that you would do? How do you guys feel about Rose Namajunas going up by moneymaker? What the hell is she thinking against Manon Fiord? I'm like, no, you went up and then they're like, you're facing like the top contender. What do you want to get a title shot immediately after one fight? What the hell are you doing, Rose? Like, where's the tune-up fight? Like, not happy with that decision. She chose poorly. Whoever her management, if it's fucking Pat Barry or whoever is guiding her, gave her horrible advice. All right, guys, let's see a big break in that leaf. Yeah, this was not. It's a good wrapper. I don't know what happened there. That's it's growing. I could see it actually like growing with the heat. This fissure here, that's not good. It's gonna open up. It's not gonna burn really well. You see that? Not good. So there's no return on your money for something like that. You can't go back and replace it. Can't go to your tobacco and say, hey, this wasn't rolled well, or this something is there, but yeah, that's not good, guys. Not good. Well, it's still going to smoke well. There's still enough deliciousness. There's still enough to the wrapper. There's still enough of the filler. There's enough there that it's not going to be a big problem. But yeah, going back to Manon Fiord and Rose Namajunas, I'm besides, it's not even a fan. I'm a fan of Rose because she's an overachiever. Like, I love overachievers, like anti-heroes, overachievers, people like Rose that are like creators. Rose could have been successful at so many different things, and she would have done it the same way. She would have to have put in tons of work to have done it, to accomplish it. She would have to like beat out so much better people to get to that level. Mm. Man, I love Lake Effect Brewing. Their beer is fantastic, guys. If you get a chance, you're going to have to get it in the Midwest. I think you get it in Wisconsin, Michigan. I doubt you get it anywhere else in the nation, but man, they're top notch beer making. Like nutmeg, cinnamon, vanilla. I'm not a big amber beer guy, like per se, but this still has that like amberish juice quality in a way, like high drinkability. It's not smoky. That's what I like about this amber ale. It's not smoky, even though I like smoke. Right? Don't get me twisted. I love smoke, but I don't like. I'd rather have my smoke in. This is a good beer for cigars, for sure. So it was a no-brainer for him to recommend it because it would complement any cigar at all. I mean, all entire of cigars. Like it doesn't have that smoky caliber characteristic, but enough of the wood that would enables it to be paired very well with a cigar and a smoke. He made a good call right there. I'd have to agree with him rather than the blonde, rather than the other one that he had. He had 3 beers at the Binny's. So, and sometimes it's great that Binny's is supporting some of these local guys too, right? Like, yeah, I can't like go say, oh, I'm not supporting local. I think I'm paying more for some of the local beers at the Binny's than I am at their breweries, right? So you're supporting them. You're paying it a little more. You're giving a little more of that overhead, right? Lake Effect guy, open up your shit, man. He's been lagging on his the brewery there here in Jefferson Park. He's been lagging on it. I'd be there. I'd go buy beer, and I go buy beer. I go to Old Irving. I go to Old Irving Eating, and I buy beer there. I go to Illuminated that's in my area, and the Alarmist that's in my area, Printers Row that's in my area. I'm fucking lucky. I have like 4 of the top brew makers in the Midwest, literally less than a mile from my house. Seriously, that's how good I got it. And I got premium cigars at Normal Park Cigars and the Binnies. I'm surrounded, by like the good shit. The vacuum here is food. The food in my area is obscenely bad, other than pizza and your gyros. Bad. Just horrible. Mexican food, Chinese food is horrible around here. Even the Polish food sucks over here. And I don't know a Polish neighborhood, it sucks over here. It's the vacuum of food. Like, in me being a foodie, but if I open up a place over here, they're not into that, right? They're like, pasta d'arte is fantastic for Italian, but this neighborhood isn't really that style. It's not going to work if I open up a place and have it like have this premium, not premium, but even like different brew pub slash, not even brew pub, but like now after it drops, now we're going to see if it starts to peel bad. Despite that, Fisher, I'm giving this, the flavor on this, I just regret that it's breaking, but the flavor on this cigar, it's not for everyone. It's going to be a little heavier. It might be too rich for a lot of people. It doesn't have that habanero. I like how light it is, but still has that strength of farm. I like how light that it has this little nutmegish character to it, but it's light. It's not overwhelming. It's not so strong. It's not super spicy. It's not super peppery. I don't taste that pepper. I don't taste that strong spice. Everything is subtle in it. I like that. Like it's a soft cigar. Even though it's a stronger cigar, it's still soft. I don't know how to describe that. I mean, I don't know how to explain. I do know. I will figure out and explain it to you. Oh, great cigar, man. Great cigar, guys. It's in the 9 Club. We're going to leave it at that. It's not going to enter the 10 because it isn't changing. Great cigar to purchase and to sit on. I wonder how this cigar would be, or how, I don't think, maybe it won't age. has that slight banana characteristic, but not a lot. And I think that's why the Habano leaf, the darker leaf, and some Maduros age a lot better. And their richness can, through the fermentation process and the aging process, can change and develop. I think this is a cigar to smoke now. And despite me getting that fissure there, having that crack, I still think it's still well rolled. It's still well made. I don't know what's causing that. Love the subtle nutmeg and plantain finish. It's just so good. Strong woody, more cinnamon, oak oak beer. And then that finish is just, the finish on the cigar is fabulous. It could be with the beer, but not really. I think it's just a cigar. Love the cigar. It's a Nani Club. Gonna get another beer. Talk about my non-Flor. All right, guys, another talking point on this Royal Oak from Lake Effect. $11, guys. $11 for a premium. You get a 6-pack. Like, I'm drinking normally what we have on the show here, we have is like, ooh, I wonder what that was. We have, it was just a tire. Normally we have like $16 4-packs, tall boys. But this is like 6-pack, $11 all day, guys. Come on. Morton Arboretum, Amber collab. Fabulous. Go to the Morton Arboretum if you get a chance to come here to Chicago. I didn't buy one today, but I was looking at the Padron. I believe it was like 1936 or 1926 line cigars, are like in that $30 per cigar range. We're gonna have one of those on the show, just not today, because I think I spent close to that for the 4 cigars that I bought today, right? So I'm gonna buy one cigar for $40 or $39, $29 or $30, whatever it is, or am I gonna buy 4? Chances are I'm gonna buy the 4. That's just me. That's just my personality. And I was looking at the rosé wines. I love rosé wines, as well as I love all wines. I love champagne. But guys, I will drink that shit too. I'll drink anything. It's pretty much the truth. I'll drink it all. But the rosés, I think, are going to complement the cigars, some cigars, a little better. Especially I might have a rosé. I might do a rosé review, and I won't let you know what rosé that is right now. But I saw it, and it was like $29 per bottle. I was like, oh, am I going to do that with this cigar? And I might. And I think I'm going to do that the next Sip and Smoke. We're going to have actually a wine review, and it's going to be a rosé. It's not going to be a Merlot. It's not going to be a Cabernet. It's not going to be a Shiraz or what are you doing there, buddy? Or a Malbec. It's going to be a rosé. I'm going to smoke a rosé with a Connecticut Shade cigar, because that's the flavor. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a certain aspect, a certain experience. That's why even with this, the Lake Effect Brewing, and I showed him the cigar. I had the cigars already in hand that I had, and I had a variety of them. And then I saw him there, and he was talking to the person at Benny's. He was like, "Oh," I'm like, "Man, we got to get more of your beer here." He's like, "Oh, I got beer here," and I'm like, "Okay, awesome, great to see your beer here." Uh, I bought a 6-pack right there. I was like, "This is these two. I'm gonna smoke this one or this other cigar." They were both more Habano type wrappers or a little darker wrappers, and I'm thinking of smoking either of these two. This one primarily because of the band, and the other one was it? No, yeah, the other one was the Plasencia, a Plasencia Especial, which I haven't reviewed before, and I know it's going to be pretty good in the same price point, a dollar less. It was like $8.95, right? So it's like $9. This one's $10. So that was the differential. I was like, I'm gonna smoke either. So he saw that I was smoking, and I put aside the Connecticut and the lighter shade cigars. So he knew what I was sort of going to be smoking, and he made whether he guessed it, he made a good decision on the Amber, and I agreed with him, grabbed it, bought it right away. But while I was there, I was like reassured that my Hop Butcher reviews and my picks, like what Hop Butcher is making right now, along with Illuminated, fantastic. You know, just great beers. Hop Butcher, I think, is my. I'm sorry, sorry, Jason. Like Hop Butcher might be making some better shit right now. What are you doing there, Rio? Hop Butcher's making some tasty, tasty beer right now. And that's why we get the Hop Butcher, and we did the review, right, guys? That's why, like in MMA, Pat Barry knows his shit. I know it might be weird, and he's with the striking coach. God, I can't believe the name escapes me, but I don't know what Rose is doing. Manon Fior is going to be so much. She went up in weight class. Manon Fior is. I haven't seen the face-offs, but I think that the one thing that Raj mentions about with men, the thickness between these two women, and we're talking women, is going to be very significant. I know Rose don't want to fuck with Wei Lee anymore. You know, I would still try to, like, it's almost like a Max Holloway situation where maybe like Max just can't beat, you know, fucking this dude. He just can't win. He's not going to be Volk. It just isn't going to happen. Like 8 times out of 10, it isn't going to happen. And that's the same with Rose and Wei Lee. Like, she got those wins, but that's it. It's over. Wei Lee's going to win now every single time. But to go up in weight class and face a kickboxer of quality, it's like going, like when she got subbed by my girl in like 30 seconds she got subbed? She might get knocked out in 30 seconds. Manon Fior might actually knock out Rose Namajunas. If she figures out the distance well, like, yeah, I know that Rose faced Andrade and faced the best of the best. I've been making money off. Rose has been one of my best money makers, if not the best money maker in years. Like that's been almost my golden goose. Like I picked Rose to win so many times, it's ridiculous. But that time might have come to an end. Is she a live dog? Hell yes, for the price. No way Manon Fior should be like minus 275 against Rose. It should be a lot closer. So I'm not going to hate you if you jump on that Manon Fior bet. I'm sorry, on the Rose Namajunas bet. And what was Rose by sub? Was it only plus 400? It was like plus 400 or something like that. And the combination was like plus 300. Fior by TKO, or I think it's going to not go to decision. I know it's a women's bout, but I think there's going to be a finish in this. Like Fior cannot leave it to the judges, and neither could Rose. Like we saw Rose against Cookie, Like she left it to the judges. I thought she won that fight. I was on Rose on that fight. She just is not going to win a decision, especially in France. Can somebody win a decision in France? I really don't know. The French Commission is MMA is new there as a business. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that this fight is going to favor the French big time. That's why that French parlay that DraftKings is offering. Oh, so many people jumped on it. I'm not going to hate you if you do. We don't have Joey in the house right now, but Joey's parlay. I'm not going to say Joey's pick. Joey's parlay, which is different than his pick. His parlay is different than his pick. Is Basharat paired with Gan at minus 116. I don't hate it. He is the lesser of the. I don't like the Basharat price. Right? I like Gan to win this thing because I think that this guy's chin is just not very good. But he got to the sub opportunity, but his wrestling's not good. Gan obviously has been after that John Jones fight. If he hasn't been working on his get-up game and his wrestling game, if he's not spending 60% of his time grappling and 40% of his time striking, then he's going to lose this fight. Spivak will get the sub. Spivak will get the sub if he hasn't been training, elevating his game. And I don't think he has been. I think he smells his own. These guys, like, they just, oh, I'm good at what I'm doing. That's what I do. It doesn't work in MMA. That's why MMA is so difficult. You have to be well-rounded. Or if you're like that one-dimensional dude, you've got to be so good. You got to be so good at that one dimension that enables you to ignore the other or counter the other elements of the game. Thus, John Jones, Israel Adesanya. Like, Israel Adesanya could be the next John Jones. He could be like one of the greatest champions ever. And I think John Jones is the greatest champion ever. Is he the greatest in MMA ever? Probably. Probably. I think he's the best well-rounded fighter in history. With the drugs, with the fucking coke and the crack and the fucking, like, and the mental illness. The dude is just so talented. Look where his family comes from, and then the genetics. Like, I hate to say it, it's just genetics. We could say it. We're not like a big channel. We're not like Jimmy the Greek or saying anything racially. Like, dude, his family, like, all NFL players and his sisters. His sisters are like championship track athletes or basketball players or something. Like, all his siblings are like top tier athletes. Like, they are all like badasses at what they do athletically. Look at John Jones. Like, he the drugs funked. He could even been better. He could even be better. He could, if he didn't do the drugs, he would still be better. That's the thing that it's crazy that people don't realize. Like, the dude would mop up anybody. He could go and compete in jiu-jitsu and get an ADCC championship, right? He could go into kickboxing and get a kickboxing belt. Like, he is that. He could go into wrestling, go back to wrestling, maybe get a gold medal. Like, he has that level of genetics, that level of ability, and that time is gone, of course, now. And he has the UFC, and that's why he's like a 3-1 favorite against Miocic. Like, he's gonna mop up Miocic, man. Miocic is fucking done. Miocic is fucking. In John Jones should be done because he's a drug addict, but he's not. He's not done. He's still not done. going back to this card, there aren't a lot of spots that I like, guys. I wish I could bet Rose as a dog. I really want to try to convince myself, talk myself into betting Rose as a dog, but I think Fjord's going to be able to keep her at bay, right? I think she's going to be able to keep her at bay. And I really like to bet Spivak by submission, and the same thing. I think Gon's going to be able to keep him at bay. Rose's wrestling is not that good, and neither is Spivak, and I think that's the story or the narrative of the co-main event and main event fights, that neither of the underdogs have good enough wrestling to offset the great striking of the favorites. And that's why I'm not going to play either one. My play, and I'm not going to bet it a lot. I have a prop play right now. I think Benoit can knock out Thiago Moises. Like, he's not gonna go to, like, Benoit especially. I think Benoit has better striking than Moises. And Moises is gonna like to be in that guard. And I think I agree with Wayne. Wayne mentioned this. Wayne, my buddy Wayne, like, that Moises is gonna, like, happy to be on the ground, and that Benoit can get that ground and pound TKO, and I think he can. He's got the striking power to do it. He's also got the jiu-jitsu, but he shouldn't try to. He's going to go down there, and Moises is going to let him come down there. Moises sub, no problem. I think Moises sub is more likely than Benoit sub, and I think that Benoit's KO is more likely than Moises subline. I think also that fight could go the distance, though. I think it could be a sloppy clinch stand up, like Moises is going to be on the ground, wanting to grapple, and then Benoit is going to be smart enough to, like, stand up. I think it's going to be a stand up affair, right? Or he's going to, like, Benoit is going to avoid the submissions from the top. And just drag it out, not be rapid in his own submission attempts, his own ground and pound attempts, just really control Moises and win that out. But, like, where's the money at? Like, where's the money at? Where's the likelihood at? So, the only bet that I have placed, and here's the bet that I have placed, guys, and I can't believe I did it, but the woman burned me before, and I'm not burning her again. My bet this week is Jocelyn Edwards. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. That's my bet. I already threw $30 on it, on the money line when she dropped. She was the favorite big time, and it became even money, and I thought, oh, for even money, I'm taking Jocelyn Edwards against the rookie, even though the woman's from France, right? I took Jocelyn Edwards. I'm like, last week, like, how is Jocelyn Edwards a dog, like a favorite? Like, never. I'm like, I would never bet Jocelyn Edwards as a favorite. In my flip, if she's dog money, I might double down, right? So my play this week, guys, is Jocelyn Edwards on the money line. I got her at minus 105. I don't know what she is right now, but she dropped down to minus 105. I saw it, I went boop, and then, like, hours later, she was back up to, like, minus 110, minus 130. No, minus 115. That's my play of the week. We'll see how it ends up. But on the money line, that's my play. Hopefully she drops down. Like, people start throwing money at the French woman. She's a rookie at this. It has some credentials. I was also looking at that McKee guy. I like betting Cage Warriors champions. Like you're an English champion. You're like, Cage Warriors champions. They ain't no joke. Cage Warriors champion. it just isn't enough meat there for me to jump on with McKee. But I'm also thinking about that. Like, I'm not going to go there yet. Go get him. Go get him. And I have to listen to Wayne. Wayne was doing some research on, like, the guys that, and I didn't do that research, the guys that McKee beat to be Cage Warriors champion. Apparently they're not cans, but they're not like great, right? So it's a tough, you know, if you get that plus one, but McKee's like was plus 195 earlier, like 2-1 money. Not a bad area just to sprinkle, guys. I'm not going big on any of the bets this week. I'm not even making the $100 play. I did the $100 play on Caceres last week, lost it. I put, what did I put? 40 bucks. 40 bucks on Jocelyn Edwards, and I might sprinkle Jocelyn Edwards by decision and a little KO, 10 and 10, or, you know, to win by KO or to win by decision. Let's see what I get with that. I forget the number there, but I might do that, and that's it. You know, I might not like the Spivak sub. I believe was plus 400. You guys could check me on there, and I'm interested in that. But I'd rather pass. I don't think his wrestling's just. It's like, look at my call last week with Caceres. No wrestling. The guy doesn't wrestle. He's got no wrestling. I fucked up, guys. I fucked up. The guy wanted to have a kickboxing fucking sparring expedition, sparring fight, fucking, or kickboxing match with a fucking championship kickboxer. You idiot. No more betting guys that open their own gyms and coach themselves. That's it. You open your own gym, you coach yourself, like Miraquani, Caceres, these guys, nah. No. No more. Not betting your ass. If you don't have somebody helping you create a game plan, have a team of people that are not just yes men, I'm not betting you anymore. Caceres was a moneymaker for me. I'm the guy that had him against Choi by sub. That was a great bet. That bet was awesome. But I threw more money at it then. Wow, what a beautiful band. My father makes their boxes, and their bands are beautiful. We'll have one more beer. We'll talk about what are we going to talk about? Which fight are we going to talk about, guys? Help me out here. We'll be right back. What are you doing? What are you doing there, buddy? I was hoping to fade Boschrock, guys, but I can't do it. Can't do it. Won't do it. Crazy, guys. I'm putting on a hoodie. We're about to, like, next week's to be like over 100 degrees here. Like 100 degrees, and I'm fucking putting on a hoodie today. Clydeston just doesn't have the wrestling. Just not diverse, but man, I don't know about Joey's parlay. Don't know about that one. I favor Bashra too, and I favor Gone. And that's only because Spivak's wrestling is just not that good. Like, he's got great jiu-jitsu. But if he rushes Gone, he might get knocked out. His chin is not as good as John Jones. His wrestling is nowhere near what John Jones is. And his jiu-jitsu is not as good as John Jones. Like, who would win? Like, I hate doing that. Like, even the MMA, I think John Jones would destroy Spivak. Destroy him on the feet or on the ground. Even if they had a jiu-jitsu match, I think he'd submit him. I think John Jones would easily submit Spivak. Like, dude, the dude's rolling with Gordon Ryan. For practice. Just fuck. I'm just brought in Gordon Ryan just to roll. Like, and he's doing good against Gordon Ryan, right? Like, that's how good John Jones is. You bring in the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the game right now, and you hold your own. Come on, you get on top on him, you take him down, and Ryan was a great wrestler too. He didn't get a submission or anything. They're just rolling. I get it, but man, no. John Jones, you can't fuck with John Jones right now. Like, where does John Jones go? Like, John Jones he fucked up his own life with the drugs. Like, I can't complain. But that car accident fucked his career up. Would have been the greatest MMA practitioner, greatest fighter, period, in any sport ever. Would have still had Nike involved, maybe in the UFC. Wheaties, his Gatorade, right? Like, God, man, all his sponsors that he lost. The attention that went from him, that was part of MMA, because he was part of MMA, that went to him was gone. All the interest, like, we're not dealing with these guys anymore. And it hurt the sport. The guy hurt the sport. Like, he's still the king of the sport, but he hurt the sport. Like, he hurt MMA. I'll tell John Jones that all day. Like, he hurt MMA. He had the chance. He had it all. The Nike contract. The dude could have had his own shoe, his own clothes. He was at the caliber where he should have had all of that, like Tiger. Tiger had the fall, but he still survived it, right? He still survived the fall because he's just so good. He was so good. And I think John Jones had that same caliber and just dropped the bag, like, as they say. Like, it was really bad. But that's done. So, as you know, we still smoke through the cigar. The show lasts, or me live lasts, as long as the cigar lasts, or close to it. And then we drop you off. We still could, if there were people in the chat that could participate, we could still talk about certain things. But what were the other fights that I was interested in? Was there any other fight? The McKee, Los, the African guy. I think it's another low betting card. And that Fisher, guys, is gone. There's no Fisher. There's a lot more cinnamon and nutmeg in the cigar right now. Not a beginner cigar. Probably too strong for most beginners. Doesn't have that rich, oily habanero taste for some of you Cuban guys. With like this, like, different richness, sweetness, smoothness. This has Now it's getting a little peppery at the finish. That's why we smoke it through and we have to talk about it all the way through. It has a slight pepper with that nutmeg. It's getting stronger as it's smoking more, which is interesting. Getting richer, fuller. Still has that nutmeg, but it is getting a little more pepper. Not a strong pepper, but oh man, that beer is good. Prop bets. What prop bets are you guys doing on the 2 events or 3 events that I talked about? Benoit, Moises, Manon Fiort, Rosa Mayunes, and Cerro Gone with Spivak. I think there's like great opportunities on round props in all 3 bouts. Like outcome and round, which is always the best payout. They're always like plus 1,200, plus 1,300. Put it out in the comments section. Do I sprinkle any of those? Do I like? What do you guys sprinkle? My sprinkle is like $5-10, right? Like I see the plus 1,200. I'll sprinkle like $5. If I'm doing a lot of them, I'll do 5, 5, and 5. That's what I did with Meerschaert, and I didn't win any of them. So that event was bad for me. I just should have did not to go the distance. You know what I mean? Like it was plus money. Like him and Petrosky was plus money, and I sprinkled the TKO to be the winning method. I sprinkled the submission to be the winning method, and then I sprinkled Meerschaert to actually do that, right? And I lost all of them. But there I sprinkled like $2 to $5 on most of those bets. And lost all of them. I think I lost like $30, maybe more than that. More than that, maybe like $40, $50. Just in round props with that match. But I love the meat. I love the meat. I love the meat. I went with the meat. I went with the meat on all those. And there's meat on the bone on those 3 bouts, picking the method, as always, the method in the round. So maybe I'll do like a couple $2 sprinkles, $3 sprinkles on like Gong KO round 2, round 3. Like I agree with Wayne. Spivak ain't last. If he doesn't get a takedown and get a sub like soon, Spivak is not lasting 3 rounds. So sprinkle Gone, maybe $3 round 2, $3 round 3 KO. Rose, ooh, interesting. Does Rose get knocked out? It's possible. Manon's like a beast. I don't know. I didn't see what yes to go the distance there is. Maybe the distance prop. Because Manon's got to stay away from Rose. And she's got to know it. But Manon, I don't know what Manon's KO prop was. I should have looked at that before I started the stream. I like yes to go the distance there. Like my instinct tells me Manon's gonna fucking just piece her up. And Rose has got a chin. She's not gonna go down. And Manon by distance Manon by distance. It's not a 5-rounder, right? So it's a 3-round fight. I have to look at that Manon by decision and yes to go the distance. Like both of those and parlay those, or Manon and over 1.5. Right? Like if they offer that, like, whatever that number is, if it's better than the yes to go the distance prop. I fucked up, right? Didn't I mess up the last time? Like, why did I bet? Not with Wei Li, but another fight. Or what? Was it? No, not with Willie. I love what they did last time, guys. I picked it all. You guys, it's on tape. Whaley over 1.5. Whaley yes to go the distance. Whaley by decision. I love doing that. Betting the trifecta. That's what I call it. My trifecta, where you bet not the money line, but you bet the three, like three props. That trifecta, the round props, yes to go the distance, time prop, winner, and method. Where do I see that in this fight? Is in Cyril Gane, right? Like that has that or the more likely outcome. Cyril Gane to win by TKO over 1.5 or 1. You're gonna be we're gonna be close there. Over 1.5, and Cyril Gane by finish or by TKO. Like that triple parlay, if they let you parlay it, I think it's gonna be something that I might look at. Right? I'm not gonna bet a lot. Like if I bet $10 on the fucking thing on the triple parlay, or 10 and 10 and like on each, or 20 and 20 on each. But I'm not looking at a lot of spots, which is cool. I think this is cool. I think this is a great new bout better. We've finally gotten here, Wayne. We finally have gotten to the point where the bout better is only making 3 to 5 bets a fucking goddamn event. You've all these other guys and everybody. I get it. That's what you guys want. You want like every event breakdown, who's gonna win, what your pick is, boom, 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 boom. I'm not about that. I'm about who's gonna make me money. Last week I lost money. I get it. I lost money. This guy lost money. They do that, right? Lost money, but with 2 bets. Right? If I went the opposite volume of my bets, right? Like went stronger on not the dog, but on the parlay, I would have been profitable. Right, guys? So this week, Jocelyn Edwards on the money line. $40. Was it $40, $30, whatever it is? So 40, $30. Threw some on her. I don't hate Joey's parlay. Minus 116, minus 120 with Gane and Basharat. I think there's the Basharat guy. He's not the older Basharat, but he's not Javid Basharat, but he's still fucking really good. I don't hate that. I don't hate that parlay. That might be my money saver. I don't have a dog for you in this fight at all, except if I go for Rose. And Rose, if I do go for Rose, I think she has a subber, and I just don't think she's going to be able to do it. She's going up a weight class. Montefiort's takedown defense is improving, is really good. Great striker. Great cigar. We put the cigar in the 9 Club. It has a little. I love the oils actually right now. It's still in the 9 Club, and the beer is in the 9 Club for sure. The beer is. Thank you, Lake Effect Brewing. Oh my god, so juicy, so good. It's an amber that is juicy. That's what makes like the Lake Effect Brewing so good. Is the high drinkability of their beers, right? Like you could chug them, You could. The high drinkability of their beers is just phenomenal. Morton Arboretum. Come on, you paired with the the Morton Arboretum. Recommended from the fucking goddamn brewer. Can we say, guys? Come on. We're doing this thing. We here. It's your boy, Pop Better. My dog's scared when I say that stuff. Guys, we are smoking the best cigars that are available on the market today. We are drinking the best beer that's available in the Midwest, especially here in Chicago. There's no doubt we got some good ass shit. And when I'm happy to come to your town, and I will come to your town. I will be. We went to Kansas City, right? We'll go to Michigan. We'll go to North Carolina, South Carolina. We will be at all these spots in time, guys. And we will review your food, your beer, your smokes, right? We that's just being about better, right? That's what this shit, all this shit's about, right? Enjoying life, enjoying the finer things of life. You don't have to have a Rolex, right? You could have a Seiko, right? To enjoy a fine cigar. You don't. It doesn't have to be a $50, $100 cigar. A Hibike, Cohiba Hibike. You know, it doesn't have to be that, right? You don't have to have a Cuban fucking Parga Series D or something like that, right? It doesn't have to be the finest wine in the world and all that other stuff. You guys can enjoy your life not at your level, but in a way that's fantastic. Like, fantastic beer today, guys. Fantastic wine. Beer. Fantastic cigar. I'm going to continue to enjoy this cigar with you guys. I know you guys don't watch and you don't care, but I'm going to continue to enjoy and have another beer with you guys because I appreciate everybody out there. This cigar, look at it had that Fisher and it still burned really good. Fucking A. Lake Effect Brewing. My father's cigars. Only the best shit for us, guys. Only the best shit. $10 and damn, a 6-pack of this, $11. That's a deal. That is a deal. That's a lick right there, as they say. Like Lake Effect Brewing premium beer, $11 for a 6-pack. You don't even see that anymore over here. Dude, the beer prices in the Midwest have gotten outrageous. We're paying $16 for a 4-pack of Tall Boys. I got a 6-pack for $11. $11. I told them that. I'm like, oh my God, great price point, man. It's smart. Don't be greedy on the profit. I get it. You have to pay whatever, but don't be greedy on it. And you know, but other people are gonna buy the, you know, if you could afford the 11, you could afford the 16, right? If you could afford the $11, you could afford the 16. It's in this area with cigars. If you could afford the $7 cigar, you could afford the $10 cigar easily, right? So that's why I'm not like fucking nickel and dime in all my cigars. And we're smoking and we're giving reviews on this $10 cigar, right? I'm not nickel and diamond. I already gone the spectrum of the $5 cigars as reviews. I have to go upwards, unfortunately, now for the cigar reviews. There aren't any of these new cigars out there in that range, that $5, $8, $9, $10. You know, we got to go now, unfortunately, up to the 12, 13. We got to go up. Scaling. You got to go up. And we're going to see if they're better or not. We are going to up our game. We're going to give you the reviews on those. There's no way you're getting a better beer review over here of any beer than here, right? Like of what we have, right? Cigars, maybe. because we haven't done the premium yet. But if you listen to my reviews, somebody actually put in oh, Israel, always in the bag. What do you mean always in the bag? Always in the back. Always in the bag. Israel knows. Israel knows. I gotta go here in a moment, Israel. What do you have to say? What is your pick? Are you on Rose, Israel? Israel's a Rose Namajunas fan. Is he on Rose this weekend or what? Did he say anything? Did he bring anything? No, Israel didn't bring anything. It's dark. Israel, help me. Somebody convince me to bet Thug Rose. Somebody, please. Somebody. Thug Rose. Are we doing Thug Rose or what? See the chat. I saw Israel there. This thing's horrible. I'm drinking, Israel, I'm drinking the Lake Effect Brewing Company Amber Oak. Really good. No Rose? You're not on Rose. He's not on Rose. All right. I'm going to listen to Israel. Rose has been one of my main money makers for years. Years. Rose has been I love Rose, but yeah, I think this time, man, when I why are you doing it? Why go up? Why go up? He just said she's washed up. I don't think she's washed up. She just made a mistake by going up a weight class to face somebody like Manon Fiort. So that's what I think. Israel, when are you coming over for the sip and smoke? Have a cigar and you don't have to have a beer, but we're doing the watch review. Doing the Omega watch review. Unboxing. All right. Carmen, what does Carmen say? He's going right, Joe. Rather have a beer than a smoke? You rather have a beer than a smoke? The smoke is good. The smokes I got are fucking Dude, you know me, I work for Dunhill, man. I got good smoke. I would love to buy like a place in Puerto Rico and fucking make a Puerto Rican cigar company. Nobody's doing it. I have no idea why. You know, they make coffee, but they're like, it's in the Los Antillas, right? Like, it's where this cigar is made in the Caribbean. So I don't get it, but yo, I don't have the money to do it, right? If I had the money to do it, I would do it. If I had the extra money, I'd grow weed there too. A lot of people grow weed in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I have Israel. I have Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays off now. I made a contract, so I got to like do a double on Sunday. But I have Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays off, so I'm free. You guys, you want to fucking hook up? Let me know. But yeah, good. I'm not on Rose because you said that, because I was gonna be on Rose. I was like hoping that you would, convince me to bet Rose Namajunas. Yeah, I heard you were there last Sunday. The pasta was pretty good. Pasta was pretty good. I'm not gonna say it was a 10, but it was all right. It was all right. Like an 8. It was an 8. It was an 8. Yeah, I'm not gonna bet Rose. I think she is the best dog on this card, but I'm not gonna bet her. Like she, because of her talent level. Mm. Yeah, but you have to bring the Omega over. Sit for the MMA sip and smoke one day when we do it, because I do it either Thursday or Wednesday, like Thursday, Friday, or Saturday now. And bring the Omega over. We'll have a box review, or we'll do a review on it. Yeah, I can't afford any Omegas at this point. I got the government on my ass. I had to pay off my taxes. Those motherfuckers got me. They got me. I'm dark. I don't have my lighting on me. So, what's your bet, Israel? What's your best bet for this event? What's your best bet, Israel? What is Israel's best bet? Israel's pick for this event. Let's see if he has one. It's a tough event. It's not an easy event. Like I said, thus far, my only bet is Jocelyn Edwards at like $40, and because she dropped even money. Like, I should have grabbed her. Actually, no, she was a favorite. She opened up like a giant favorite, and so when it dropped to like even money, I fucking hit that shit. All right, the visuals are not happy. I'm not happy with the visuals right now. Israel didn't give his pick, but that's okay. As always, if you made it this far, you are a bot better. Appreciate everybody that's been in the stream, commenting, liking, subscribing, smoking, sipping. Let's go, guys. Good luck this week. Let me know what your picks are in the comments section. We'll see you on the back end.